The time has come. The Pittsburgh Steelers 2025 NFL schedule has been revealed. And this is everything you need to know from the teams they're facing, what weeks, home and away games, and the times. But first, before I get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right into it. So, I won't give a breakdown of each game until the end of the video. So I'll go straight through the schedule, starting off with week 1. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers go to New York to face the Jets. They will open their season at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, September 7th versus the New York Jets. And then in week 2 will be the Pittsburgh Steelers' first home game of the season, September 14th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then in week 3, it's another away game because the Pittsburgh Steelers will face the New England Patriots at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. But week 4, it's a home game, but it's in Ireland. So it will be 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time in Ireland, September 28th. And then week 5 is an early bye week. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a late stretch of games with no weeks of rest because this is an early bye week. But then coming out of their bye week in week 6, it's their first AFC North matchup of the season. And it's October 12th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time at home versus the Cleveland Browns. And then following it up, it's another AFC North matchup visiting the Cincinnati Bengals on primetime Thursday Night Football at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Week 8 is a home game versus the Green Bay Packers, back-to-back primetime matchups, this time on Sunday Night Football at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, October 26th. And then it's another home game in a row, Week 9 versus the Indianapolis Colts, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, November 2nd. Following up, Week 10, it's versus the Los Angeles Chargers, November 9th, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is once again primetime, Sunday Night Football. In Week 11, we face the Cincinnati Bengals for the second time of the season, the last time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, November 16th. Heading over to Week 12 versus the Chicago Bears, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, visiting Chicago, November 23rd, away game. Now, November 30th, Week 13, we face the Buffalo Bills at home at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's a middle slot game. Now, in Week 14, we face the Baltimore Ravens for the first time of the season, December 7th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time in Baltimore. Week 15, it's another primetime matchup, this time Monday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, a home game, December 15th against the Miami Dolphins. Now, in Week 16, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time, another middle slot matchup, this time an away game versus the Detroit Lions, December 21st. And then we face the Cleveland Browns in Week 17, away game, December 28th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the final time of the season. And then to end the season, we face the Baltimore Ravens at home, and this is still to be determined. And the time and date is unknown. It's either going to be a Saturday or it's going to be a Sunday. But to end the season with the Baltimore Ravens is always a good thing because usually those two teams are fighting for the first place in the AFC North. So hopefully it's the same thing, or if not, the Steelers have a clear lead. Anyway, that is it. That is the Pittsburgh Steelers 2025 to 2026 NFL regular season schedule. Now, before I get into the breakdown of each game, let me just say our preseason schedule, because that was also released. So, August 9th, football returns, and it's an away game in Jacksonville, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's against the Jaguars. But in week 2 of the preseason, on August 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, it's a home game. First time the Steelers fans will see the Pittsburgh Steelers in action for the 2025 season, and it's versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But then week 3 of the preseason, once again, is an away game, August 21st against the Carolina Panthers at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So that is it. That's a full Pittsburgh Steelers schedule. Preseason, regular season. And now, let me just break it down a little bit in depth on the ones that are special. Because going back to week 1, the Steelers have a storyline. If they sign Aaron Rodgers, it'll be 2 quarterbacks reuniting to face their former teams. But if not, it's still 1 former quarterback facing their former team. So, New York Jets, they signed Justin Fields in the offseason to be their quarterback. The Steelers let him go, didn't sign him for agency, so Justin Fields will be facing the Pittsburgh Steelers, his old team, and will look to get revenge. But if Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers, it's Aaron Rodgers returning to New York to face on the Jets, his former team, who he was released from. So either way, it's a storyline for the game. And it makes sense why they put it in New York, and makes sense why they put it in week 1. Because Justin Fields is guaranteed to be the starter, and so is probably Aaron Rodgers at that point, if he's on the team. Anyway, week 2 is also special, because DK Metcalf got traded to Pittsburgh Steelers from Seattle, and he gets to play the Seattle Seahawks in week 2. The only thing I would have changed here is maybe make it in Seattle and have the Steelers travel there, because DK Metcalf gets to return home to Seattle Seahawks in front of their fans where he came from. But no, this is in Pittsburgh. This is a home opener for Steelers. So that's the game there. Also, what's special is week 4. What I would have switched here is, personally, I would rather this not be counted as a home game for the Steelers and they get a home game a different time, because this is in Ireland. So it really doesn't matter if it's a home game or away game, but this counts as a home game. But the Steelers fans will show up either way. So they can make it like a home game, but it would have been nice if the Steelers get an extra home game, different time during the season. But no, this counts as a home game, even though it's in Ireland. Also in week 5, I don't like that there's a bye week in week 5, because now they have to play like 10 plus games in a row. But week 5 is a bye week. So what's also special is the Pittsburgh Steelers have some primetime games. They have 2 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time games, which is a shocker because it's never that. It's always the 1 p.m. games. But they also have 4 primetime games, and then if you count the Ireland game, 5. So it's really nice having some primetime games this season that the Pittsburgh Steelers get a shootout in. So obviously, last season, it was a brutal stretch for the last 8 games of the season. All the AFC North matchups were after the bye week to end the season, and a lot of them in the row. Now it's a little bit different. It's a little bit spread out, but the second half of the season is still going to be brutal for the Steelers. In week 6, week 7, back-to-back AFC North opponents, tough. And then also to end the season, having Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore, that's going to be tough as well. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, their second half of the schedule, even though it's a little bit better than last season, it's still going to be a tough stretch. And to be honest with you, I really like the schedule, however, for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of the time slots, the teams they're facing, and where they're facing them in terms of earlier on in the season, later into the season. The schedule for the Pittsburgh Steelers works out, except for the bye week and except for the home game being in Ireland. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this game. I will give a prediction of what I think the Pittsburgh Steelers record will be as the week goes along, and I'll go through it in depth, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, that's the preseason schedule. That's the regular season schedule. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the schedule release. Do you like it? What do you like about it? And also, do you not like it? What would you switch? Or what would you want differently for the schedule? Also, let me know your prediction for the record as well, if you want to, down in the comments below. Now, that's the end of this video, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about it. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports. Every new player has been on the channel. Their introduction is on there. Go ahead and check it out. As we head into the season shortly, and we head into camp, you want to know all the players, it's on the channel. And also everything for the draft is on the channel. And moving forward, all the rumors, news that's being covered, I'll make sure to cover all that as well. So this is the best spot for everything Pittsburgh Steelers football. Stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn notifications. And until the next video, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.